Hey everybody, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin in Tucson, Arizona. Thanks for being here today. If you enjoy coins, hang out, watch some more videos, like, share, subscribe. Today we're going sign away, gloves on, and we're going to have some fun with one of the things that's my favorite things about having a coin shop, and that is just old envelopes full of coins and seeing what's inside, right? So this is one of the things I still love most about the coin shop. I mean, typically speaking, most of the stuff that you see is not going to be nice big groups of old mixed world coins, but I always enjoy going through them and seeing what's there, especially if it's a group that's a little bit older, which you never really know until you get to opening things, and you get to see all of the things that make coins amazing, all the things that really brought me to coin collecting in the first place. You get a coin like this that says commerce and industry on it, and you're like, what is that? Dude's got a caduceus there, and in 1923, here we go. Bond pour 50 cents, Chamber of Commerce of France. Look at that. So 1920s France, and that's the stuff that really started me into coin collecting. Then you get something like this, and you say, what in the world is all of that? And then it takes you a bunch of research to figure out, where it's from, when it's from, because the dates, you learn how to read other numbers sometimes. Like, what does this say here? This is 1, 2, 3, 3, 12, 30. No, is that a 3 and a 3? So there, I should grab some numbering books here for you. But on the left, so the numbers are right above the bow there. And I think those are all the same. Maybe that is 12, 22. So I think those are twos. So it's been a while, but there's like numbers mixed into here too. That's a, 5 on the left of V, unless it's the 7. That's it. This is what happens when you freelance and just go freestyle. East Africa with the hole in it. I know you guys would correct me. It's been a bit. It's been a minute on some of this stuff here. 10 cents, 1876. This is going to be from the Netherlands. Sometimes it doesn't say the entire word of the country. D-E-R-N-E-D, Derned. That's the Netherlands. Wilhelm the third, Konig, that's king. Some more fun action here. Oh, but we got more bags. We're going to Vamonos. We're going to go here fast. Oh, that's nice. I might get that one even graded. This rupee from 1917. Looks like it's a AU, but it might be worth grading. It might not be. This side looks like it's uncirculated at first blush, but the obverse, pardon me, the king side does not look that way. So lots of stuff going on here with the rupee, multiple languages, floral designs, very, very interesting looking coins. And there is George V, King and Emperor. Ay, ay, ay. And here's another. This is kind of a cool piece, 1927 from South Africa. I couldn't imagine what South Africa was like in 1927. All right, we'll see here what's happening next. Let's grab another bag full of stuff. Make sure they're empty before I throw the bags away here. Envelopes, that is. Oh, wow, that's cool. So this is a 1735. Huh. Yeah, I would have to do research on this one. Yeah, everything's abbreviated there, but I'm not sure exactly. This French? I think that is French. I'd have to look that one up. It's fun when it's a group of stuff that I see things that I'm not sure right offhand what I'm looking at. These are all, well, French and Italian. Little guys. Sorry, I know some of these things you're probably wondering, and I'm like, oh, just cruising by it. 1926. What a beautiful design here. 25 cents. This is France. So it looks like, I think that is French. I think these were all put together by someone previously. Here's another awesome design. When you think about coins from the time period that U.S. collectors complain about, pardon me, they go back to saying, hey, why don't our coins look like they used to look back in the day, early 1900s? That's a very typical looking design, that little French piece there, and you think about how much that is similar to what the U.S. was doing. So In fact, I'm always intrigued by the French because people make fun of the French, Americans make fun of the French, but oddly enough, realistically, we wouldn't be here without the French, colonial period. And the weird thing is, of course, they tried to buck the system too, and I don't know how they failed. Anyways, vive la France. Looks like we got some Belgium going on here. Oh, this is kind of an interesting little mixture of things because the coins are small. We got some little dudes here, half cents. And this is from, this is the 1900, the Netherlands. Let's see here, 10 cents. Yeah, the Netherlands. Wilhelmina. See, there's Wilhelmina. Wilhelmina, 2 different portraits, young and old. I mean, you might be used to Queen Vicky and her changes over time. 1898. 1897, so that's like a crossover pair. Look at that. 1904, still had that same portrait. And then, what do we got here? Anything a little bit different? So then we've got the 1 cent sizes. This one's a little bit different. This 5 cent piece is kind of big. It's a thick piece. Looks like one of our V-nickels, only thicker. 1908 Netherlands. I know I'm upside down. Just turn your TV upside down. You'll be fine. Fun little group there from the Netherlands. And I did have the one that fell here. We did have Wilhelm. He was before. So 1887 on that. Hanging around as much as you can, folks. I've actually got a lot of bags to look at today. It looks like they were mostly sorted somewhat. So Mexico. Might not spend as much time here because we do see quite a bit of this stuff, and I try to share it. I think I see it. This is an interesting little 5 cent piece from Argentina. You start to get the feel for designs and what was in vogue as you look at coins that were all over the place. Oh, this is cool. Central American Republic, 10 cents. Republic de Costa Rica. Yeah, there's a whole lot of crossover history there. Yeah, there's, I think, another one. Is that? Yeah. Early Costa Rica, looks like the date's halfway gone. 19... Costa Rica, very cool. Ah, Republic Dominicana. The Dominican Republic, 2.5 cents. Once again, Crested Shield, 1888. Cool little nickel piece. 12.5 cents from Venezuela. So it looks like this is a mixture of South American stuff, not just Mexican. Super cool coins. Yeah, that's fun. I like those. Dominican, Venezuela. I'm going to just move on here. See what's in the next little baggie of stuff. And we've got, oh, 1920s Ceylon. Ceylon. Oh, yeah, I like that. Oh, check that piece out. Bumblebee is always cool. Once again, for those of you who don't know, Italian, fascist Italy, gorgeous coins. 1934, 10 cents. Might have to get that certified. I just love the color. What a pretty coin. That guy is going in a different place here. Oh, this is Greece. Yeah, a little Greece piece, 1874. 1917. Once again, as people were conquering, so this looks like a Netherland piece, and then you see Netherland Indies, and then you have languages on both sides. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. I mean, the history of man through coins. All right, what else? I keep dropping stuff here. What am I dropping? All right. Oh, here's Belgium. I said Belgium earlier, and you'll understand why in a second when I saw this and I said Belgium. You see that? So these Netherlands pieces and the Belgium pieces look the same when I see the line. I get some of that stuff mixed up because there's some crossover, some corrosion of conformity right there. 10-cent piece from 1903. They had some holy coins, Batman. I like these pieces. 1922. 1 franc Belgium. There's some leper colony pieces, I think, from that same time period that look like that. I'll have to scratch my head a little bit and think about that one. Yeah, the 1 franc piece. Yeah. Now, the leper colony pieces, I think, actually say leper on them. Oh, this is interesting. This is a lot of stuff that's going to be Turkey, methinks. This is an odd metal. Yeah, these little guys are cool. Kind of rough and ready. A bunch of these have holes in them. They were probably put onto jewelry at one point in time. I'm going to look closer at those two here and see these little dudes. Maybe they're nice enough grade to get certified. Probably not. A little bit of a mixture here. They sound and feel like tin on a bunch of these guys here. Some Turkish delight on a moonlit night. There's another one that's possibly nice enough to get certified, but probably not. They're probably too cheap, but that's never stopped me in the past from getting stuff certified that I thought was cool. You know, and sometimes I just like to get coins like this put into a holder to preserve it. That one might be. That might be the only one in there that's really actually nice enough. And then some of these things, the design elements are just so minorly different that you wouldn't notice unless you're, really paying attention. Obviously, that's coming from the perspective of someone who doesn't know the language, right? So I'm sure for someone who knows the language, it's probably a whole lot easier. But some of you had pointed out my English ain't that great either, so there's that. All right, we're back to Spain. Once again, now check this out. This is why this gets confusing, right? Now you see the lion again. 5 centimos. But now we're looking at Spain instead. And it gets confusing because there's so much crossover during that time period for some symbols. There's some Italian coins also that look like they're from Spain. So this is interesting because it has a hole in it. This is that's Morocco, and so this is really crude. Almost looks like a pine tree shilling. So you see the date on there, 1233, but this is actually from. Oh, when does that make this? From the late 1800s, mid 1800s. That's a little bit more interesting. This guy here. To take a closer look and see if it's any type of variety. So Alfonso VIII ascended the throne as a child. That's why the portrait looks like a child. And maybe these little guys might be interesting too. It's 100 Reis from Portugal, 1900. Yeah, these little dudes here might be worth doing something with. Look at those guys. Those are cool. Yeah, great look. The pillars are so cool. Always pillars are cool, right? So there's always crossover from U.S. collectors who just love the pillars. And they're on several different types of coins. The pillars are. Okay, I'm going to save my pillars down here for later. A couple more. What do we got here? 3 or 4 bags. Bags of stuff. This one's got a lot of stuff in it. What are you looking at here? Oh. Great Britain. Boring. Just kidding. Just kidding. I know. I shouldn't really kid. This is interesting because this is actually, of course, you see it looks just like the other coins, but this is Nova Scotia, 1861. And they're little 3-cent pieces. They were sterling silver until about, I think, 1920. Somewhere there, they were sterling, and then they went to 50% silver. I think that might be the cutoff in 1920. Somewhere in there, their silver coins went from sterling to 50%. And I'm looking at these, and you can see the color difference between these ones from the teens and these from the 20s. So they were changing their silver quality well before we were. They were changing it there around at the end of World War I. This is interesting. Oh, cool, cool. So we've got some earlier pieces, 1826, George IV. This guy be a, what denomination is that? About the size of a $50. Is that going to be a, I don't know, 18 groat? We've got a few of these little rough ones in here. George III of 1817. 1819 also George III. So those are fun. Lower grade, but fun. See, I should make fun. I actually like their coins. Okay. I was going to say last but not least, but there also is three more bags here. Ah, Italy. Once again, the fascist Italy, coolest coins. I just like the designs. I think that they're clean and they're elegant. This one's interesting, 20-cent piece, 1894. Nice grade, probably an AU, but probably not worth getting graded, but I'm going to consider it. Put it with my considerate pile. Also 1922, beautiful design. 1866. Manuel II. Oh, this should be San Marino. You got the Knights who say knee on this side, bringing you a bush, a shrubbery. Italy. This one's a little bit more interesting. A little bit of luster. This guy, 1863. Also, remarkably not expensive coins, generally speaking, but I'll take a look and see. Like I said, I might send some of those coins in just to get them preserved. And then these copper nickel coins, that's stunning. Also, 1908. Look at the condition on that. I wish my V nickels from 1908 looked like that. That one, definitely one of those coins that's like not worth getting certified, but I'm about to. I'm gonna pull the trigger. Super cool, super cool. The lions on there. Once again, 1920, 50-cent piece. Yeah, I love the designs. That's it. All right, two more bags here of bags O stuff. All right. Oh boy, now we're gonna get. I was gonna say more Scandinavian, but is Denmark? Like, which countries are Scandinavian? Which ones are not? Does anyone ever talk about? Here we go. Interesting little designs here. Here we go. Here's a design that I like. These guys here. Check those out. 5 bits, 1 cent. Double denomination. Denmark. I think this is, yeah, Danish West Indies. I know those Scandinavian countries have this clean reputation, but these homeboys were out there conquering the world too. Don't pretend you weren't. Go ahead and blame America, but it's just humanity. That's, you know, I'm not in favor of us dominating people, but I'm just saying, like, just look at history. That's what you see a lot of. So some of these are going to have some small details. Norway here, so there's small detail differences sometimes on some of the Scandinavian countries that I'm not as familiar with, depending on like little mint marks or that little OS on here, little O dot sovereign king. That might mean it was issued for. Same with this piece here. It looks a little bit unusual to me. It might mean it was issued for one of the territories that had conquered versus for the mainland. 5 or one of my favorite denominations. I mean, ore just sounds like something we're used to thinking about when we think about metal. The term metal ore. Here's a cool design. Oh, Danish West Indies. That might be a good piece that has what are those? Well, I mean, it's agriculture, industry. I'm going to put the rest of these down so I can look closer at those. We got dolphins, by the way. Bonus points for dolphins. I was going to say the three muses there for a second, but then it'd be agriculture and industry and fishing, maybe. Here we go. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to meet them on a dark alley. That's all I know. So this one might be a little bit better. I'm not as certain on these guys, but that's kind of an AU type coin. You can see how flat the relief is on those coins, by the way. Maybe just talking a little bit about what I like and don't like. The design I like, but also that real flat relief versus, as I'm pointing out, all the fascist Italian pieces, you know, their relief being a little bit higher, I think tends to have a little bit nicer design look to it. All right, well, let's see. We're getting to the end of our journey today. Thanks for coming along with me and just looking at coins because, gosh, that's what I still like doing after decades. Luxembourg. And by the way, I know everyone's already corrected all of my mistakes, and I appreciate that. There's only so many things that I know offhand, and there's certain things, of course, that I will mistake. So that's interesting because here this one is Hungary. Magyar is Hungary. So we got a little mixture of stuff in here again. Empire of Austria. You think about the Austro-Hungarian. I don't know if you remember the term from grade school, the Austro-Hungarian. But, you know, Austria and Hungary overlapped, and here all of a sudden, once again, the Greeks just kind of get thrown in at random places. I can always recognize them because their lettering is, of course, different than what we're used to. There's another little Greek piece, not the one I'm holding. That's going to be Germany. This is the other little Greek piece. And here's a fun big piece. This is a mixture, 1871 taller. Wilhelm, King of Prussia. And there's a big Russian piece from 1831. You know, I'd have to check the date and mint mark. There are combinations of these that are better, depending on, I think if you get Catherine, she's dominating. She's a good one. Everyone else is not. I shouldn't say everyone else. Sometimes I say things tongue-in-cheek, but there are certain rulers that are really hard to get, and yet the coins look the same. It'll just have a different of a mint mark to know who the ruler was at the time. Or you could learn history, whichever. All right, guys, thanks so much for being here today. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.